Now which way do we go is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Into the internet that we must reach. Into the internet that we must reach. Into the internet that we must reach. Into the internet that we must reach.
Welcome everybody to another wonderful night of Valorant here at CF1. I am Stidle24, joined by the He's over here. We're joined by the wonderful Beanies as we check in with our Central region. And we are going to be watching Texas A&M take off against SHC, I believe, is the matchup we've got. And this is a bit of a David and Goliath situation.
Yeah, exactly. Spring Hills College, the SHC, is going to have to be bringing the heat and a lot more than that because Texas A&M, they're sitting at 4-0 in this group. They have yet to drop a single game. They've been dominating throughout this entire spring tournament so far. And yeah, David and Goliath is a good way to put it. As you can see, the rankings coming up here on your screen from our other Central Region group. We have two Central Regions here with CF1 because we just have so many colleges coming out there. And you can see UH Premier and Ohio State are both, or Oregon State, excuse me, both leading out the charge at 4-0 here in our Central Region group number 1. But Steidel, as we're going to be switching over to that Central Region group number 2, this is where we're having our focus lay here tonight.
Yeah, and you can see the A&M team right there, second place, 4-0, sharing that top spot with the Blue Demons and SLU Esports. The Badgers, they're in a similar position, sharing that final last spot with Nova. So this is really a situation where they can get themselves a little bit of their first win if they can surmount the mountain. I think they've got it in them. It's just going to be a matter of, can you put the plays to paper, from paper to the screen to the game, so on and so forth.
You know, you could say, I guess, from Discord to the screen, because I don't know how many of them are putting them on paper. I mean, maybe we got some old-fashioned thinkers here, but they could be throwing them there. Exactly. You know, it's okay. Our age might be showing a bit here, but that's not the focal point we need to be talking about. Because even though it is a David versus a Goliath matchup, these two teams, they're still going to be battling it out, and we do, in fact, have a little preview of where we're going to be taking this series, folks, because it is a best-of-3. And we're going to be starting it out with Haven, actually, as Texas AMU got to pick that map here, Steidel.
I'm really excited to see Haven as a self-proclaimed Omen player. I really think this is one of the maps where Omen can begin to excel. Well, I say that just because my play time in Valorant is much lower than I want it to be. It's been a while since I've actually taken to the streets of Bind or Haven or anything like that, but I know that when I get back I'm going to be playing Omen because he's the only character I think is cool. He's got my heart.
He's a little edgy boy. I've had him on my radar ever since I started playing the game. Exactly. And yeah, Haven, I mean, we should point out actually, folks, that even though today we did get Astra dropped, we will not be seeing the new Valorant agent being played today. Unfortunately, while she is available in your normal games, you know, her kit requires an encyclopedia worth of knowledge to understand how to play. So I think that the lull in between releasing her and getting her into team play is very much needed to unlock that potential.
Yeah, I agree. I think a bit to the opposite of Yoru. When Yoru came out pretty quickly, everybody figured out his abilities, and you know, some people were like, oh, he's gonna be overpowered, and then the rest of the community was like, his abilities are a bit predictable, and we know exactly what they do. We were watching one of our observers play the new hero in the training ground a little bit, and I was completely baffled. And I've read all of her abilities on paper. I know what they do, but the actual execution from it, I'm really excited to see what that brings into it. Being able to place those stars and then activate them in such a myriad of ways is going to bring a different level of play to a lot of these kind of fixed, established pushes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to give a lot of power over to IGLs who want a top-down view. But Steidel, look at that. We're getting into the map here. We're getting into the agent select. And you already have the Short Hill squad pulling out 4 picks right off the bat here. Nothing too surprising from their side, as I guess maybe Sage might be the most unique choice there. But even then, you know, I feel like Sage really can provide some good utility, especially on Haven, especially with so many tight corridors that are the pushes, thinking of C-Long, thinking of A-Long, thinking heck, even getting on the B site. So if played properly, I feel like this Sage could definitely put a hole in some plans here for Texas AMU.
Yeah, a bit of a speed bump is the way that I'm looking, or I'm hoping that we see that Sage played, because they know they're going up against a team that's got a better record than them, and so they're A&M probably going to bring a fast a faster pace to engagements, and you can use that Sage Wall to kind of shut off a site's entrance, slow things down a little bit, especially if you can catch the site that they're pushing and make them have to rotate or break down that wall and force themselves through a bit of a tighter choke. So excited to see that, and I'm not surprised to see the Cypher, but I don't think I saw a Sova.
For Texas A&M?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't believe they did
Oh,
either.
no,
Yeah.
we do
Oh
have a
no, they
silver
did.
for
They got
Badgers.
Bisto.
Never mind, guys. I'm selectively blind.
It's okay. I believed in you, and I will continue to believe in you, my partner.
But looking at A&M's setup here, you're gonna have the Cypher pretty much able to hold down whichever site you want, and then a lot of smokes, not a lot of entry. I mean, the Jet, of course, gonna be fragging off, and you've got the Phoenix, but other than that Phoenix, you really don't have much in the way of flashing or entry.
Yeah, and you can see the defensive smokes are going to come out here just early on. The Omen's trying to make sure that the Badgers are not going to get anywhere easily. And Oninobu getting a little too aggressive there, Steidel. He is going to walk forward and pay for it, but the site is not even going to get touched, it seems like. It's going to be an offensive line just protecting the quarterback here. Look at that. Texas A&M Steidel going to be winning that round pretty convincingly.
And a really good setup from the Badgers. I will say the Phoenix getting a little bit overzealous, popping that flashbang and not properly checking that corner. You can never walk around those corners with an ability out. You really need to make sure that if you're going to peek that, you've already cleared it before you initiate. But you know what? Lesson learned. So hopefully we'll see the Badgers kind of build it back from there. Economy-wise, A&M early on spending money.
Yeah, and I'm always a big fan of seeing these second-round buys come through here. If you have the money, you might as well flaunt it. If you can land your shots in your practice, like we expect Texas A&M to be, Dill's going to lead the charge here with a nice lead-off elimination.
Yeah, they've already tried the A push, so being a bit aggressive is something that Dill can do. He's able to find two. And A&M now having a massive advantage. You see the rotations coming through from the rest of the team. They've called out and said, we've got him on A. They're stuck on long. Let's go ahead and take our time. Badgers will be able to pick up a couple of picks so that their economy isn't completely done by the end of this round, but it's going to be Dill with the ace!
Oh, wait. You can't.
That was just beautiful right there. Dill controlling that short A push. If we can get a replay coming up here, I'm not sure if we have that. There we go. You're going to see this from the POV of Short Hills, and they're just trying to sneak up A site. Dill peeks perfectly, getting the Cypher, and now they know that he's in between them. But, I mean, this is just excellent aim here in gunplay. There's nothing else to it. He's just holding the angle. This might be a little bit of luck, but nonetheless, Dill is just a fantastic player, and this is pure mechanics coming out here for the ace.
Yeah, that's not a story of team synergy or you know, utility from their kit. That was pure mechanical aim coming out from Dill, and it's gonna be up to the Badgers to kind of take this a little bit slower. Gather your information before you go into the site so you're able to properly assess the situation. Looks like the Owl drone gonna give them a little bit of an insight on who might be awaiting them in garage, but look at the aggressive rotations coming out from A&M. I don't know if Badgers has clocked that the Omen has pushed so far up.
Oh, and now you can see here, they're going to be a little more cautious with the bomb here. And Steidel, this is really important for the Short Hills to be taking their time because they have gotten a little too big for their britches there on the first two. But Damn is waiting perfectly.
Spike down A.
Oh, and that is an unfortunate situation there for the Badgers. Is they were able to find out the Omen, but once again, the mechanical skill coming through. And this isn't over for the Badgers. It looks like a bad story right off of the bat, but these first 4 rounds, especially when it's the first time you've played a team, it really does come down to where do they like to set up, where do they like to defend, what nooks and crannies are we going to be finding them in, and then you can kind of start working on swing this to take out the Omen, peek this to make sure the Phoenix can't actually get a pick here or there. So just putting the building blocks down right now.
This is a nice spot.
Well, hopefully the building blocks are built like Legos, so they fit together nicely and they just go, you know, one on top of the other, perfectly fitting, perfectly following in order like they should, and that's how building blocks should go. We stand Lego in this household, okay?
Unless you leave him on the floor and I step on him, and then we might be exchanging words. That's a different situation. Ooh, aggro. Doing exactly what their name says and immediately popping out, but not without a big value. Able to find a lot of information and tell his team, I've got 2 here at garage, at least. So expect that B push, but Mint's able to open things up. Badgers now with the upper hand. They lose 2, however, and lose it quickly. Dill getting aggressive, going to be taken out by Oni. And now trading down to a 3v1. The Badgers still have hope. Can the man, Chan the man, do it? Able to find 1, but not the second. So close. And we're going to put 4 on the board for Maroon now.
And Steidel, I really like the brief little point you brought up there about aggro, the way he was able to get that information and get out and the value that came from that. That's actually one of the biggest reasons why Sova at top levels of play is considered to be the best agent, or if not the best, at least a plus tier agent, because of the information gathering. And so aggro, not only being able to stay alive there, but get that information is how Texas A&M was able to win that round so convincingly, because like you mentioned, aggro spotted, what, 3 people outside garage here, is now they have the operator just trying to flex a little bit, but they're not going to find anyone there because it's a site that looks like it might be the push here.
Oh no, and once again, the Badgers are going to get hit by this executioner angle coming from the sewers rotation, and Dam's able to find 2. Chan the man tried to aggress and kind of move up on that Omen as they were escaping and wasn't able to find the shots. But 2 ships passing in the night. Most of Maroon think they've got the Badgers, but the Badgers have got them. Aggro going to go, and there's the op for A&M, no longer available.
Losing the operator is always a tough task to come back from, bud, but you know, it's not the end of the world here at Texas A&M. Still got the numbers. Oh, never mind. I jinxed them. Sorry there, team. Steidel, Caster Curse hit him hard, and Texas A&M is going to have to play defense for the first time on the spike.
That's what they're going to have to do, and after that, they're going to have to find Mist. Found him in the back corner. And this is going to be rough. The Molly going to dwindle him down as the hits come through from Dill. Doesn't need the headshot. Has the damage from his own Molly. Gotta go ahead and get that defused. But Badgers already starting to look pretty good. They're putting pieces together, able to get minced into the back line, and a good fake onto A&M.
We're talking about fakes. I think we should mention I just got faked out thinking the spike was just never going to get defused there. But, you know, Texas A&M just taking their time and getting a round off. And, yeah, this defense, you can see the economy is actually incredible there. I mean, Bisto sitting at 9K and the operator that was dropped by his teammate, able to pick that up. And you know what? Aggro's not getting the operator. Look at that. That's staying in the hands of Bisto. Why would Jet need an operator? You know, Sovas need a chance to shine on those snipers.
I mean, you're the one getting all the information. You might as well get a couple of the kills.
Exactly. Pay your dues, you know? It's like tipping your delivery driver.
Revealing area.
Lines up the dart to make sure nobody's pushing, but aggro getting found out by Nobu, and this is the slow play that I want from the Badgers. Gotta pick your moments, pick your battles. You know an op is here on B. So you gotta push aggressively to make sure that that op can't find anything, but Damn with an Odin's gonna find 1. The shot misses with the operator, but Dill has already rotated to the high ground, and the Badgers haven't seen it. Never mind, unbelievable. Able to find that opening, or not opening kill, but pretty much the nail in the coffin is long. As they get the rotation in, not looking through the smoke. Helm's in the backline, able to find Nobu in a 2v1 now. And it's really just a 1v1 on point. Unbelievable doesn't have that information, though.
Yeah, but he has that ultimate.
Do they know bombs on site? I don't think they know bombs on site.
Oh, they might not, or they might be giving up. But he's being a little too cautious. Look at the minimap, folks. You can see he's about to get pincered on, and just like that, yeah, Damn is going to take him out. Maybe if we saw just a little more pep in that step there, Unbelievable could have gotten the bomb and made something happen. But unfortunately, the hesitation, the sixth sense just wasn't there, and now it's 6-0. And Texas A&M, one of the things I always like to point out, they guarantee themselves a tie after this first half. So from here on, everything's just icing on the cake here. Every round you get from this point on is just going to be further cementing going into that second half against the Badgers. And if there's ever going to be a time for the Badgers to come back, it's going to be here and now. But they only have an eco buy here. The most they're going to be investing is actually a Spectre. they're really going to need to see something big, and that's exactly what we needed to see, Steidel. That could be huge.
And it's something to be said. You got to be careful if you're going to sit in garage and hard scope. Oh, no. Helm's actually almost finding Oninobu out there. And rotating over to C. They've got a little bit of information. I think he saw on the camera. That long is an option. Question is, are they going to check the corner? Don't check the corner, but they still find the kill. 2 down now, and with only 2 left for A&M, and an ult coming out from Unbelievable to make sure they know exactly where the aggressors are. This should be all but in the bag for the Badgers to start turning things around. You said it, if there was any time to do it, now would be then.
Yeah, and they are pulling it out, and what's so impressive is they're doing it during an economy round, and look at that. A flawless round on an eco buy here for Short Hills. This is exactly what we needed to see them pull out if we're going to be getting any kind of comeback coming out of this roster. And you know, it's a small glimmer of hope here. It isn't going to be, you know, getting them 5 straight rounds back. They do have to win quite a few more to even this out, but having a chance to take an evened out gun round yet again, have some bank backing you up where even if you do drop a round, you can afford at least some purchase, is going to lend a little bit of a leniency on the mentality here for the Spring Hill squad, but they're going to have to deal with Dill, who's actually going to be running amok here with the run it back, and that's going to be 1 elimination for the Maroon, but that might be all they need, Steidel.
Yeah, dear Valorant, please nerf run and gun again. Okay, got that note down. But as we continue through, Dill.
Sign my name to that too, by the way.
His life. No! A quick triple there from A&M, and they're going to stop the Badgers in their tracks. But like you said, because of that last round, the Badgers are going to be able to actually buy themselves a bit of an offending setup here. You know, they're going to be able to buy full guns and armor. And come back at this at an equal fight, except for it looks like Ninja. They're gonna be rocking the Spectre, or you just playing with me? Yep, just playing with me. Not even gonna guess. Looks like they haven't decided what they'd like to run this round.
And that's okay. You know, you can't rush brilliance. Ninja going with that Spectre might be a questionable purchase, and Aggro just beats the Flash actually right there. Nice little elimination early on.
You will not.
Ooh.
Spike down.
Oh no, the unfortunate res comes through. However, the ultimate from Sky not gonna land on anything. Damn, finding every single shot they take. And Chan trying to return the favor, but gets caught up against 2, and 1v2 in Valorant is pretty much a death sentence.
Yeah, and you know, that 1 round win from Spring Hill College was very motivating, but they need to make that magic happen again. As you take a look at the buy starting to come through, it's still going to be a little bit of a half buy for this team. They got some Spectres with full armor, not exactly ideal, but you're going to have to try and see that snowball happen. They did it in the economy round we saw from them before. They're actually going to be adjusting to a half buy across the team. No assault rifles, but really Short Hills, excuse me, Spring Hills. I always do that, you know. It's spring. We need to be thinking of that beautiful weather time. But Spring Hill, they need to make sure that they don't let this 8-1 lead feel insurmountable, because it is big. But Valorant is a very momentum-heavy game, and you can easily swing this back in your favor with just a good round or two, as we saw them do earlier. And Shen the Man might be using that Hunter's Fury just to scare off his prey, I think, because it's not going to connect on anyone.
Yeah, using it as a bit of a mix-up, but look how far into the back Oninobu has gotten on this Phoenix. You see the bomb rotating all the way through spawn. And they're playing just as slow as I want them. Force A&M to aggress and then pinch them and take them out. Aggro gonna fall to that as well. Bit of a bait and switch, if you will, as Dill sees his teammate down the long way. The Badger is still gonna get taken down here. And now, you know, slow play has gotten you a lot of information. It's time to start preemptively using that. You know where the peaks are coming from aggro. It's going to come in that B door or those garage doors. One of the two. You have Dill either sitting at one or the other. I'd like to see them dedicate one more member to that and do a little bit of a double peek. So make it harder for aggro to come out of that with a single kill. Maybe force the trade if you can. Switched up a little bit though.
Revealing area.
Yeah, I mean, really, just be pulling anything out of the hat at this point. You want to try and force Texas A&M into some cocky trades. I'm thinking you want to try and just play it safe. If you're Spring Hill, you want to make sure that you're not getting too big for your britches like Chan may have gotten right there, but it's going to be big on getting these trades. You want to make sure you're setting up in positions where you can trade out your teammates, and we're just not seeing that from Spring Hill right there. Texas A&M is just running through them, Steidel, and I mean, it's really just the same thing, different round at this point, as Texas A&M are really establishing why they deserve that 4-0 record right now.
They are, and at this point, if you're the Badgers, I'm even looking into playing a bit of a meme strategy of cuddle those corners right at your spawn, hold those angles.
You said cuddle those corners?
I did say cuddle those corners. Just really get snug and sit there. A&M's got momentum. They have confidence. They've got a little bit of pride running on their end at the moment. Take advantage of that and allow them to push into you and make mistakes. Nice, Mint, doing exactly what I said to do. Use that double peek to take aggro's position away from them. Unbelievable as well, sitting in wait, able to find the kill, and now 3v5, A&M down, as Badgers are looking to put another point on the board.
And they do have the numbers, but they can't get too cocky right here. Minced, nicely done, going to be taking down one. But look at the map, folks. You can see Cypher is ready for whoever to come out of this garage, actually getting a little aggressive. And damn, off screen is going to pick up a kill. So this could be disastrous here for the offense. But no! Oh my god, Minced with the fancy feet playing Dance Dance Revolution is going to be dodging every bullet. And yeah, this might be Spring Hill getting a second round at the end of the half.
The question is Dam going to be able to 1v4? No, he's not. Pretty quick answer to my question. Thank you, Nobu. Should have raised my hand. But 2 on the board now for the Badgers as they're starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And I think if you keep this up right now on this attack, let A&M's pride and aggression be the bane of their own existence, it'll allow you to go into the defensive round with a little bit of an extra cushion.
If you want some cuddling, like Steidel talked about before, why don't you hit !Discord in that chat? Join the CF1 Discord. We're always cuddling in corners, right, Steidel?
I don't know if we're cuddling in corners, but I definitely cuddle some corners.
Okay. I respect it. Maybe I'll learn a thing or two about that, but one of the things you'll be noticing, ladies and gentlemen, on this patch is there were no frenzies purchased. Just not worth it anymore with the recent nerf to that gun, but not going to be much of an issue here because, my God, you can see Texas A&M. They have a plan, Shido, and they are putting it to use.
Yeah, and this is what it looks like when you have an executable push. They knew exactly where the smokes were. You actually, I don't know if you caught it, but when the jet dashed on the site, looked down, pinged the floor beneath them for the plant. So that once the ball got off, right there, looks down, hits that, avoids the flashbang just in case, and pings the floor so that they know exactly where they want to plant it. A&M right now, not even picking up the ball. Oh, there they go. There they go. He was like, I knew I forgot something.
Where are you?
Yeah. My mom said the same thing with me at the grocery store 20 years ago.
Ooh.
Standing ahead.
Self-burn. Ooh. The Texas A&M... They're heading through the garage. They're just really holding down the ignition right here. Need for speed, not stopping. And that's exactly what you talked about, Steidel. They have a plan. They have an execute. They know where their opponents are going to be, for crying out loud. And before I could even finish a thought, Texas A&M, they're on match point already.
Yeah, and if you don't want this to end right here, right now, you need to use 2 things. You need to use your stage wall, because they're pushing as a team. If you can cut that push and deal with the flank or the main push, one of the two, you feel a lot better and you can really get things going. Use that, and also the Cypher needs to get used a little bit more. Spread them out, maybe. I'd like to see the Cypher playing B, where you can watch both the Heaven push and the double doors push. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting that. They've got some information on where they are. You see the members of A quickly rotating, but it's not going to be quickly enough. They need to get going and run those legs off if possible, as C now under siege. Able to find the first pick. Unbelievable. Evening things out. Looking for the second, but gets taken down by Beasto. And now with 4 members on the point, A&M feeling pretty confident that they're going to be able to put this in the bag. Yeah, damn, able to find Ninja out as well as a quick trade comes through. 2 to 3, but two members of A&M pretty low on health, so it's not going to take too much. Oh, like ships in the night once again. Beasto walking right past Mince. Oninobu does have a chance. Needs to be able to land the shots.
Ooh.
There's one. Hits the flash, but there's nobody there to flashbang.
Careful now.
You gotta go, Nobu. You gotta go.
Oh, he knows they're there. Oh,
Attackers win.
just not enough. A&M are going to be able to take our first map as in the Badgers. You know, not really showing to me why they deserve that 0-4 record. It looks like there were a lot of good pieces of the puzzle as far as the Badgers went. A&M, however, looks like they've got their practice down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could see it on their offense. Defense, a little less of a chance to flex it. They didn't have many retakes they necessarily had to go for because they were just winning these gunfights outright. And so now you look at their offense and they had, what, 3 rounds on offense, winning all 3? And all 3 times, I think the longest round was, what, 35 seconds maybe? 40 seconds? So there was really no time to play. They really just wanted to get the job done. They showed that they knew what they had to get done. And, you know, looking forward for this next map, it really just seems like it's Texas A&M series to lose, especially when you put up a, what, 13-2 overall performance in game 1.
Indeed, but this wouldn't be the first time that we've seen a team surprise us, and now the Badgers have gotten a good look at how A&M is going to play, and they've gotten a feel of what does A&M think of us, how are they going to approach us as the opposing team. So now that you've gotten that feeler out there, this is the time, if there is any, to work your way back. But we're going to let those guys talk it over in the locker rooms as we go to a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go anywhere. We've got more Valorant coming right up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Stidle24 and Beanies here with CF1 to bring you the action versus A&M, between A&M and the SHC Bazards. As we've gone through our first map, we've gotten a bit of taste of kind of what we expected. You know, A&M top of the leaderboard, Badgers holding a spot on the bottom of the leaderboard. So a bit of a tale of two tiers, if you will. But the Badgers have been putting a lot of good things on the table when it comes to kind of adapting and learning about what A&M's throwing at them. So hopefully as we go into Ascent, we'll see a little bit more of that.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we need to talk about, one of the best parts of that match, in my opinion, was the 3 rounds of attack we got from Texas A&M. And hopefully that wake-up call is exactly what Spring Hill needed to see, because we were talking about it even briefly during the break, how fast that attack was. Texas A&M looked polished. They looked practiced. They looked like they knew exactly what they wanted to get done on Haven. And as we're going to be going to Ascent for the second map, I'm expecting to see the same exact kind of thing to come out from this team. And now we're going to be having Texas A&M starting on the defense yet again. So even though they don't have to push or do anything with attack till later on, now Spring Hill knows they need to make more happen on their offense. They need to come in all cylinders firing, just like we saw Texas A&M doing so. And, you know, it helps Texas A&M has quite the mechanically skilled players on their team. Oh, he's muted.
Aren't mute buttons a wonderful thing? Sorry, I've got a hungry doggo in the background I didn't want you guys to have to listen to. But Ascent for me is one of the maps of Valorant. When I think of Valorant esports, I think of Ascent. It gets played in almost every single matchup. And it's a map that you can meme on a little bit as well. There's a couple of fun things that you can pull off. So I don't expect to see a change of pace at all from A&M. I think that they are going to continue to be aggressive. They're going to use the Reyna specifically on Dill. You know, previously played that Phoenix. Going to be using that Reyna to kind of surpass all of these walls.
Beasto, I want to point out, going to be bringing the Breach into this game. And something I think that's going to be interesting to watch is how the Reyna and Breach, these two picks that you don't really see as staple picks across maps. I want to take a look at how they're going to be using these two agents to really assert dominance over the Spring Hills College team. Reyna, typically an agent that you don't get to use your abilities until after you get an elimination. Breach, an agent that has immeasurable amounts of initiation for his team, but you just need to make sure you don't get your team caught in the crossfire. And with Texas A&M's practice, I can't wait to see what they have with this Breach, and I can't wait to see how they enable their Reyna to pop off in this game.
Definitely expect aggression. And if I'm Badgers, you have to know that right off of the bat. You saw how aggressive they took the defense on Haven. You saw how extremely aggressive they took their attack. Fast pace is the pace that they want to play the game. If you can slow that down, take them out of their comfort zone, you have a bit of an upper hand. And you can already see that aggression coming out now. Dill going to be setting up there in the cover. Dagger looks to find anything possible. Isn't going to die, but able to find a lot of information and let their Reyna know there might be a couple of people walking down this hallway soon because the Badgers bit.
And now there's just a clump here trying to find their way back to the middle of the map. They're going to be running in the dam here. He's going to be able to... Nicely done. He does flick away from the flashbang, avoiding the effect of that. And now he's just showing off the mechanical skill. My gosh! Damn, pulling out an ace with the Sheriff in round 1? Who buys a Sheriff in round 1, Stidle?
Damn! That's the correct response to that play. But look at that flick. And those are all headshots. Not a single one of those bullets hit a body. Each one going through a dome. That's pretty insane. And now we're looking at this. We're seeing... the Ares buy from Helms. Is Helms set up in the meme spot over on B? He is. So just in case there's a wall bangable situation, he's gonna be there.
A is looking like it's gonna be the possible location. Dill though does have a weakened target. The 2v1 is a possibility. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map entirely, Texas A&M is really just asserting their dominance. No matter where they go, you can definitely feel this second round of bonus purchase and how strong it is for a team to go for. Texas A&M guaranteeing a 2-0 lead, and now they're trying to find that icing on the cake in this third round.
And I really think that Helms is just waiting for somebody on Badgers to push B so that they can get this wall bang. I mean, why else would you be buying an Ares?
This goes here.
Honestly, don't knock the Ares, okay? Put some respect on this gun. I'm more concerned about what Dill's actually purchasing. As Dill's just hovering around with that frenzy. We'll see what the lock-in is. Oh, Sheriff actually going to be flexing that muscle. But yeah, Texas A&M across the board actually going to be going for a light buy here. That one of the reasons you're doing that in the bonus rounds, you don't really want to give up too much money here. You're already guaranteed to be able to buy out the next time you do die. So getting any eliminations you can at this point onward, as I said, is icing on the cake. But Minced is going to be showing off that assault rifle dominance and the difference in the guns these two teams have.
And a great start. You know, taking out that jet is exactly what you want against this hyper-aggressive team. Now you can take a little bit more of your time. Oh, if they can win that gunfight, it's going to be huge, but Dill's going to use the eye. Eye taken down immediately, and Dill still not able to find any sort of entry, but able to find a kill. Shot through the smoke and into the face. Able to, or going to be taken down as the plant comes through for Badgers. Oh, did it? Yep, but you barely got the plant down. As the onslaught continues, Badgers down to one player. And Beasto going to be making quick work of Oninobu in hell.
And as they do get the spike down, they do have to go for a retake here. So we are seeing some improvement here from Spring Hill, which is what you want to see. They're getting onto the site now. They got into A. They unfortunately only were able to win 2 gunfights here. You can see they kind of were running onto site looking like chickens with their heads cut off at some point, because you could see that Nobu was already under heaven and hell, while people were still trying to entry onto the site. And that's really just a disjointed kind of offensive. And while it was better than we've seen, we still need to expect more from Spring Hill if they want to take this series.
But I'm liking what they're doing. I mean, look at the setups that they have holding on A for those first 2 rounds where they're actually...
Camera taken out.
Doesn't look like they're going to fall for it.
I saw Dam's name come up, and for a second I was like, there's no way that Spray got a kill. But no, it was Dam. It was Dam. Totally separate elimination, but... Ooh, Beast.
Oh, no. The retreat wasn't quick enough, and now they've got their members on flank.
And I just want to point out the slight little teamwork that we saw there. Dam knew that the Cypher Trap was down there, that unbelievable Cypher Trap, and instead of just walking into it, let aggro dash through it, making sure that the line of sight change came through for the person watching the corner, and just guaranteed kills for everyone in the team. Just another display of teamwork from Texas A&M on this defense, as they are 4-0 right now. And on the other side with Spring Hill, these guys and gals doing everything they can, and they're making steady improvements, but it feels like Steil, one of the things holding them back is they've never had a fair gunfight. They've had 1 round, I think, where they've been able to buy out. And every other round, they've been so starved for their economy. I need to see Spring Hill forward some weapons and give themselves a fighting chance. Oh, or just take weapons off a dead body.
Yeah, and this is the patient game I want to see them play. Need to be careful, though. And one thing that I'm seeing the Badgers do a lot that I really wish they would cut down on is dry peeking. You know, they're peeking the angles without using any sort of ability to assist them if they happen to meet a gunfight there, and often they're losing those battles.
Yeah, really, you're just relying on your raw aim when you're going for a dry peek like that. And in some cases, you are able to pull off some miraculous plays, but when you get to the higher levels of play, like we're used to seeing here in a lot of CF1 matches, you are going to be expected to have a crossfire setup, to have smokes, to have cooldowns expendable to use. And we have 1 kill being traded out by each member. Actually, I say that Spring Hill actually is going to be taking a lead, but Steil, it's going back and forth.
Oh, it was going back and forth, and now it's a 1v1. Bomb down on site as the rotation comes through from A&M. However, when it comes down to duelists, the Reyna much better equipped for this, and I think they saw them. Yep, they saw them in back. Yep.
Oh.
And Aja not able to stay alive. Dill will be able to get the defuse, but the Badgers able to put a good attack together. Just weren't able to hold the site.
Yeah, and that looked promising there. I thought the Badgers were going to pull that one out. They had their Killjoy set up on the site. Cooldowns were used, but unfortunately was caught out in the open exactly where Dill's Reyna was going to be the aggressor. And Maroon now taking a 5-0 lead here. They do have not only the weapons, they have the ultimates available as well. They have 3 in their back pocket. The Badgers have yet to use most of their ultimates here. I want to see a play come out. Now that it's 5-0, you do have your weapons available to you. You have a full buy. You should really try and snag a W. Throw down the Killjoy ultimate. Omen TP to the back of B site. Take control of the site. Force some changes in line of sight from the 2 members holding there on B. And just win out on these gunfights. Spring Hill has the tools. They just need to make sure they're using them correctly.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like A&M is really expecting anything out of the box. So, you know, that Omen teleport to the back of site could be just the thing to throw them off long enough to get a couple of kills and an entry onto the site. However, challenging 1v1 in gunfights isn't going to make it, and it doesn't look like A&M is going to be giving an inch here. Usually we see them with a very aggressive defense right now, just kind of making sure that the Badgers don't have any sort of chance on an entry, using the timer as a friend, if you will.
You got a friend in me.
Oh, Nobu almost hitting the shots, but Helms and Besto both finding kills. There's a third. Only one left. Badgers as they hit the 6-0. A&M still ringing strong, and what little the Badgers have been able to put together on site B has kind of gotten figured out. I think it's time to really pressure the middle. Both Dam and Aggro have been extremely vulnerable in the way that they've been peeking mid. They're not necessarily respecting the danger that could be sitting on the other side of that open space. So take advantage of that. Use an early flashbang and Omen smoke into mid and push into these players that are just being overly aggressive.
Yeah, and I want to take a closer look at how recon abilities that Sova is lended, as Aggro does pick up a kill, but Shen really needs to be using the Sova to give his team the entry information that's required, but unfortunately, nobody is going to be finding anything except a one-way ticket back to spawn. 7-0 Texas A&M.
And I agree, you know, that Sova information is coming a little bit late in the round, especially with how forward the positioning from A&M is. Simple recon darts should be giving you a lot of information. Even if you shoot it and it gets destroyed, that is still something to go back to your team and say, hey, I think there's at least one guy there. Or I heard 2 guns shoot at this recon dart, so there's 2 people over here on beat. Maybe we should check mid and see if there's one there. Okay, now we have 3 people. We know where their locations are. Let's see what we want to do with that. So once again, going for a recon arrow on the site.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe Aggro still snuck through there getting 1. I mean, Aggro ends up being a vessel here for that mineral theft. And finally, we do have some ultimates being used, but unfortunately, it's Spring Hill throwing the ultimates. It's like water balloons hitting a brick wall. They're just splashing, exploding, and dropping to the floor. Texas A&M, they have that 8-0 right now, and they drained 2 key ultimates from the Spring Hill team.
I'd like to see someone from Spring Hill try and wallbang Helms. Because Helms is sat in that position, which is vulnerable from the other side. If you shoot the wall at them, they're just as likely to get wallbanged as you are. Take that pre-aim and
who's gonna step up to that challenge, you know? Nobody
immediately gonna take down the Cypher camera, but
our spike carrier's down.
Oh no, similar play. The teleport to spawn from Dam, and he's just gonna walk through and find himself a couple of kills and wait patiently for the Phoenix to show themselves. Oh, just a little bit too early. If Chan the Man had waited for just a second, would have been able to find the jet. But 9-0 now for A&M as the Badgers still looking for that key piece of information, that opening, if you will, to get that ball rolling.
Yeah, and I think it's going to start with Spring Hill getting on the same page here. It starts with your purchases. I mean, look at what's coming out right now. This is a very mixed bag of purchases. It's not what you want to see from a team. You don't want 2 members going full buy, 2 members buying pistols, 1 buying a submachine gun. It really just, it's not what lends itself to the team having success when you're not having an equal economy across the board. You want to be able to go into these fights on the same field. But Unbelievable is actually going to get 1 with the pistol, so may be able to make me eat my words here, as that is going to get him a Vandal, and style that will be big, but it was a brief win, I think, for this team.
And it looked like we were wrong, Beanies. We said teleport to spawn. It could work. It didn't. Pelham was there to catch out the Omen in the back of spawn pretty quickly. Heard that teleport, rotated from site B all the way back to make sure that the rest of their team was safe. So A&M once again showing us how they've covered their bases.
Here. That goes there. Oh, this is a nice spot.
And an interesting one-way. I haven't seen that one-way setup from the Cypher here on B.
This goes here.
Let's see what the Badgers can do here on the attack now. Opening up with the shot, almost hitting Dam. No, he did hit Dam. Sorry, but they weren't able to find the kill. Nobody using the running back finds the information, but nobody watching the push from B. Aggro able to find one.
And we know Aggro does that every round too.
Yeah, Aggro's been either pushing hard at A or B almost every single time, and now you're going to be forced into a long-range battle. They're in your spawn. Swing it together, but don't stack.
Oh, the 4K. He almost gets the ace.
Almost. Oh, there you go. Nanaja able to find the first kill. Oh, no. Unfortunate. The Omen through the wall. Odin through the wall.
Round in the half.
And A&M setting this up for a very short attack round. Taking a look at our economy at the moment, it's looking pretty good for A&M, and this is kind of the last-ditch effort for the Badgers. We're trying to put at least 1 on the board. That's your goal here. Don't walk away from this with a 13-0.
Yep.
The VOD's definitely going to be helpful, but probably going to be there. And there it is, Shen the Man! He did it! He got him through the wall!
Oh, it's the little victories. You got to take them where you can, and this is going to be actually huge for Spring Hill. They got a 3 versus 4. But they can't get too big for their britches, and unfortunately, Minced is going to do just that. You saw they were playing around with the idea of pushing onto site, but Spring Hill was just not fast enough. And you can see Texas A&M, not only are they quick, but they're precise with everything that they're doing. You don't get 12 straight round wins without having some sort of polish to what you're playing with. 12-0, Texas A&M. They're on series point, for crying out loud.
Switching sides.
Yeah, this could be the final round of our night here. And A&M has really had a pretty strong showing here at this matchup.
And speaking of having a strong showing, let's have a strong showing for CF1 Esports Twitter follow.
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I right, Style?
You want to keep up with all these score lines and matchups and all the fun stuff, so make sure you are following CF1 Esports on Twitter. Keep yourself tuned to all of the action and different setup. Very back of the site setup for the Badgers.
Yeah, it is going to be hopefully a rubber band effect as they're expecting some aggression, but the Sheriff buy is coming in from Texas A&M, and they're just flaunting the mechanical skill, and this has been the entire series here, Shido.
It has. It's been a bit of a showcase for A&M, and a workshop for the Badgers. But you know what? It's not all bad. You can't come out of a match like this and with your head to the ground. Badgers walking out head high. You've got an amazing VOD to watch. And in my opinion, the matches that you lose the worst are the ones where you can learn the most. It shows you not only the cracks in your armor, but the spaces in your walls, all of that jazz. You know, what corners am I not checking when I enter onto the site? What corners should I be holding when I enter the site? Because people don't check them often. Where are those recon darts going? Where exactly are those flashes, those smokes landing? Why couldn't I see the shot? Why couldn't I land this shot here? There's so many answers that you can get from watching that. What corner should I be cuddling? Yeah, exactly. What corner should you be cuddling? I recommend finding softer corners. Padded corners work well. But really, it's your choice.
New Split has some of those, so make sure you head over there for the corners to cuddle. But I think that one of the big things to point out from this match is actually the victory. It does send Texas A&M to, I believe, 5-0, which all but guarantees them, you know, minus some magic tricks and some flips happening, but all but guarantees them progressing through this first stage of CF1 spring. And so honestly, I mean, sitting at 5-0, how can you bet against them for the rest of this group stage?
Yeah, and they've seen half of the teams in the group. So like you said, pretty good litmus test to the strength of that team. They got some other big teams that are waiting in the wings for the second half of the split, so they definitely have their work cut out for them. But you know, it's not over yet, and that's the same story here on the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We're not leaving you without some tasty bits, so please stay tuned. We will be right back with an interview. Well, damn, we've got a treat for you, ladies and gentlemen. The man himself, Dan. J-Walia Wave right there next to us. I'm Shadow24. And on the far side, that's Beanies. But enough about us. We're here to talk to the man, the myth, the legend. Damn, you played the Omen for A&M in this last matchup and did a fantastic job. Congratulations on the win and going into the second half of the season 5-0. That's got to feel good.
No, absolutely. I appreciate it. I played Omen since the beta. It's what I played ever since the game came out, and I don't know. I played it for the team. We did well. Glad to be 5-0, and looking forward to next week.
Yeah, and I guess thinking ahead to next week, because now you guys have 5 wins under your belt. You guys are saying comfortably. Looking ahead, I want to know, what are your feelings on the rest of this group stage? Are there any teams in your remaining schedule that you're concerned about, or do you think you're going to be walking out 8-0?
Right. I mean, obviously, I think we're going to be walking out 8-0. I think my team's amazing. Other than DePaul University within our group, I'm not sure there's anyone that's going to take us down, but we'll have to see. I know DePaul's been playing super well, so excited to play them on their week.
Yeah, and I guess I also want to get your thoughts. You're an Omen player, so I guess that means that you tend to make some calls, especially on when to go on sites. You're throwing down the smokes on offense. You're cutting off the executes on defense. So we don't have a chance to see her yet, but are you going to be playing around with Astra at all? Is that going to be put into your hands, or is that going on to someone else? I mean, are you ready to whip out that encyclopedia of just knowledge you're going to have to play her in a competitive area?
Right. No, I personally... So Astra doesn't personally fit my playstyle, but I think for the team, assuming Astra is good, that we will be subbing Omen for Astra. I'm going to have to pick her up, but we still have to see how she fits in the competitive scene and which agent to sub her for. So we're not 100% sure yet, but definitely Astra's not my playstyle, but I'm excited to try it. Kind of reminds me more of like a Killjoy kind of playstyle, sit in the back, use your util correctly when you're teaming around. But I bought her, but I haven't given her a shot yet in ranked.
Well, you got yourself a W. Hopefully you have some time saved up to practice someone other than Omen, because we've seen your Omen is pretty much flawless at this point. So thank you for giving us this interview, man. Before we go, anyone you want to shout out, any plugs you want to give, the floor is yours for now.
Yeah, no, I want to shout out my stream, Damn Goat, Dill stream, Dill Win, and then Aggro as well. We all stream our ranked games. We stream our all our league games, CF1, NACCS. Yeah, catch us in the top 50 of the leaderboard.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Huge thank you to the A&M team for sending in this wonderful player for a little bit of an insight into their team. Thank you so much, Dan. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Yeah, why don't you go take a beaver, damn.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be wrapping things up. We've had a wonderful time here. We hope you've had a wonderful time watching. Before we go, though, do want to remind you, make sure that you are getting into the CF1 Discord, following them on Twitter, and coming by tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for Cal Esports versus the San Diego Coyotes. It's a little bit of an in-house match, if you will, but make sure you're here on the Twitch channel for all of that heat. But I think that's going to do it for us. So, with that being said, I'd like to leave you with a couple of things before we go. Be safe, don't be toxic, and have yourselves a wonderful evening.